Everybody, calling this Village Board of Trustees meeting to order, January 26, 2026, at 7 p.m. It's good to be back here in Village Hall. If we can, Attorney Morton, if you could call roll call, please.
Trustee Alfano?
Here.
Trustee Cordova?
Here.
Trustee Constados?
Here.
Trustee Kozar?
Here.
Trustee Kumar?
Here.
Trustee Sabri?
Here.
And President Patrick.
Here. And this evening, we have some special guests, Villa Park VFW Post 2801, to help us lead the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, please be seated. Thank you. Thank you. All right, do we have any amendments to the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and move forward on public comments on agenda items. Do we have anybody in the audience with public comments on agenda items? Okay. All right. Moving forward, we will go ahead and move to public comments on non-agenda items. Signed up, we have Donna Noxon. Here, do you want that?
Good evening. As a resident, a board member, staff, we should be concerned with the state of affairs financially while operating in a deficit budget. One ask is for a long-term 4 to 5 year budget minimal. Ideas. Days on hand reported with any financial reports presented to the board and possibly on the first meeting of the month. Status reports from the economic development vendor. We paid approximately $80,000 to find businesses to bring to Villa Park. Reports quarterly on businesses that open versus closed or vice versa. This will help gauge loss or gain, revenue, and economic development. These reports could be tools utilized in future discussions of revenue, development, and promoting growth, or in future financial decisions. Speaking about promoting growth, a few ideas that have come to surface are restaurants and business weeks, business sidewalk sales, dates certain in the summer, farmers markets with VP vendors, and perhaps JP's Off the Beaten Path Fest. Financially, let's not just tread water. Let's strive for balanced budgets and try to rectify the deficit budget we are currently operating in. A deficit budget is a gamble with too many unknowns and could be problematic. A story of financial woes when I first moved here, and I think it was 2015, that absolutely bamboozled me. We were operating a fire truck that resembled the Flintstones cars with holes in the floorboards. Why? Because we kicked the can down the road. We need to be financially responsible this year and in the future years, and not keep kicking cans down the road ever again. As a side note, it was a disappointment not to see promotions of our rec center memberships prior to the start of 2026. Membership promotions will provide sustainability, and promote future growth. Thank you.
Next, Molly Crass? Cars, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Molly.
Molly Cars. I live on Princeton in Villa Park. I've been here a few times. Well, first of all, I want to say, guys, this is very exciting. Welcome to Villa Park.
Thank you.
So I've been here a couple times to tell you guys about Go Green Villa Park. So we have 3 events coming up that I want to invite you guys to, and all of you. I'm glad there's a huge crowd. Please join us. The first thing I want to tell you about is we're having our first annual Kids Clothing Swaptional. This is going to be at the library, February 7th from 10 to 1. We have a drop box there, so we would like people to donate used kids' clothes, gently used, mostly just clothes, coats, boots, that kind of thing. So if you could donate it to the library, and then we will have it out that day for swapping. So you can just donate, or you can donate and shop that day. Everything is free, so we call it shop, but everything's free. Or you can just shop that day. You don't have to donate. So we're also having a bake sale. If there's any bakers here, we would love to have some volunteers to bake for us. We are going to split the proceeds between Go Green Villa Park and Outreach House. And Outreach House is going to get the leftovers of the clothes that people do not pick. So that's our first one. I like to put in some fun facts. So there are 11 million tons of textiles that go into the landfill every day in the United States. So if we could get them just to be traded to each other, that would help out a lot. All right, so the next event we have, which is actually currently going on, it's called Bag It Forward. So we're going to be collecting reusable bags. We have 3 sites. There's the ACE, Villa Park ACE, there's the library, and there is the Prairie Food Co-op. So there'll be boxes there. We'll take all of your canvas or reusable bags. I don't know about you guys, but I have like bags of bags, and I would love to have other people use those. So we're going to start, hopefully, depending on the collection, we're going to start giving them out at local stores so people can use those instead of plastic bags. Here's that fun fact. 100 billion plastic bags per year, so we want to get rid of some of those. The average life of a plastic bag, the use of a plastic bag is 12 minutes. So you pick it up at Jewel, you take it home, you wad it up, and you put it wherever you put it. So that's interesting as well. Last one is data centers, what's the impact? And we're having a panel, and we're doing that in conjunction with Greener Grove and Go Green Glen Ellen. That's going to be at the Downers Grove Library, February 24th, 6:30 to 7:30. We're having 3 panelists, and they're just going to talk about what data centers are, what kind of impact they have, what we should know about data centers. So they're all over the news now, so if you guys want to learn more about it, come to our event. What else? There's the fun fact. One data center can use as much electricity as 400,000 electric cars. So they use a lot of electricity. Our next meeting for Go Green Villa Park is February 19th. I would love to have you all there. That's also at the Villa Park Library at 7 o'clock. You can go on gogreenvillapark.org if you want to see or learn more about us. We're also on Instagram or Facebook. And I would love to see all of you at the events or donating baked goods or donating clothes. So I think that is it. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Next, we have Judy Mitchell and Brittany Russell.
Hello. Brittany Russell. Good evening, members of the board. My name is Brittany Russell, and I am a resident of Villa Park. I'm on North Princeton. I am here tonight to bring attention to a growing rat problem that is in our neighborhood and respectfully request that the village reconsider implementing a rat abatement program similar to those of Bensonville and Wooddale. Many of us have noticed an increase in the rat activity, rats in our yards, alleys, running up and down the streets, getting hit by cars near the tracks. This isn't just an inconvenience, but it's a public health concern and a safety issue, especially for families like mine with young children and pets. We understand that residents play a role in the prevention by properly storing garbage and maintaining properties. Many of us are already doing our part. However, the scale of this problem feels... Oh, I will. Do you want to... Yeah. Will you guys accept pictures? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I have some. However, the scale of this problem feels beyond what individual homeowners can manage on their own. We're asking that the village consider coordination such as a village-wide rat abatement or baiting program, increase inspections of problem areas such as the apartments, especially the dumpster areas, which I've talked to code enforcement. They've been in coordination with the trash pickup, and they said that some of the dumpsters are inaccessible to be picked up due to their positioning. So they've been reported to not been picked up for 3 to 4 weeks, and I have a picture of that on my phone from right now as we drove over here. It's overfilling, and
They don't close any of the lids on
It's-
any of the dumpsters, maybe they just send a letter to the landlords or something about the tenants not throwing it on the ground?
Public education and support for neighborhoods experiencing repeated infestations. We love our community and we want to keep Villa Park safe, clean, and healthy. A proactive rat abatement program would go a long way, protecting our residents and preserving our neighborhoods. Thank you for your time and consideration of this request. I'd be happy to provide any more photos, like I said, of the trash that we have. Any other addresses that I have of problem concerns, or connect you with any of our other residents or neighbors that can come tonight, because we're all pretty sick of it on North Princeton. But like, this is the dumpster right now at the corner of the train tracks that they can't reach. So, yeah. Thank you guys.
We'll come back when you get them to the end with us.
Okay, next, Cheryl Tucker.
I'm here with a concern with Coffee with the Board, and I'm hoping you have resolved this issue. When you all ran or took office, you knew that there was 3 consistent meetings each month. The first one was Coffee with the Board each Saturday of the month, and the Village Board meetings, which was the second and fourth Mondays. Yes, I understand that you have busy lives, and the difference is that we too have busy lives, which include issues that need to be addressed, asked, and resolved by our trustees. Those issues usually can't be resolved at a village board meeting, emails, or a call to the village hall, which is why it is important that a village president takes the responsibility to make sure that Coffee with the Board happens each month, even if that means he takes time out of his busy schedule, like his predecessors did, and run them himself, because the people of Villa Park deserve the opportunity to voice their concerns, which cannot be happening if Coffee with the Board keeps getting canceled. So far, I see it's on the calendar for February 7th, which I am hoping that it will take place. I don't think it is too much to ask of the board to honor their promise by figuring out in their busy schedules one Saturday of the month for the people of Villa Park, which means, whether it means the village president handles it himself or you take turns as a board, it doesn't matter to the people of Villa Park. The main concern is we want the opportunity and chance to make Villa Park better, and we can't do that if you keep canceling Coffee with the Board. We need the opportunity to tell you what's going on, and we need that moment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak under public comments on non-agenda items? All right, seeing none, we will go ahead and move forward. We don't have any proclamations tonight, but we will go ahead with the presentation of 7A, the swearing in of firefighter paramedics Evan Swanson, William Shermer, and Steve Szymanski. Did I get that right? All right, good. Chief Stapleton.
Thank you, President Patrick, Manager Rivas, and members of the board. Today is a special day as we gather to recognize and celebrate the achievement of our new firefighters who are completing their probationary period. This is a significant milestone in their journey, one that deserves our acknowledgement and praise. It is my honor to bring up the following candidates to be recognized who have successfully completed their probationary year for the Villa Park Fire Department. Evan Swanson, Will Shermer, and Steve Szymanski. Wanna line up right there? Now, a little bit about them. Evan Swanson. Evan began his career in emergency services in 2018 as an EMT with a private ambulance service, driven by a commitment to serving his community and helping others in critical moments. He later continued that path with the Fox River Countryside Fire Protection District, where he gained valuable experience before accepting a position with the Villa Park Fire Department in December of 2024. Born and raised in Waukegan, Illinois, Evan recently put down his new roots in Gurnee, Illinois, where he and his wife Liz purchased their first home together. This next chapter is made even more meaningful as they prepare to welcome their first child this April. Evan is supported today by his parents, Scott and Roxanne, his Guy, Tony, and his wife, Liz. Will Shermer. Will began his EMS career in 2018 as an EMT with a local private ambulance service before relocating to New Mexico to pursue a bachelor's degree in EMS. During this time, he obtained his paramedic license and worked with the Albuquerque Ambulance Service and AMR. They were extremely busy during the day, but not so much at night. He said that was a good thing because it freed up their nights to look for UFOs. All right, maybe that was subtext, sorry about that. He later returned to a local area to serve in a critical care paramedic role. In December 2024, Will joined the Villa Park Fire Department, embracing a new experience as a firefighter paramedic. He is joined this evening by his friends, his girlfriend, as well as his mom. Steve Szymanski. Steve began his academic career with the goal of becoming a physician while playing collegiate football and studying biology. After completing his undergraduate degree, he entered the EMS field, earning his EMT certification in 2021 and completing paramedic school in 2023, where he discovered a strong passion for pre-hospital patient care. Steve completed his paramedic student ride time here at Villa Park, and as a former student athlete, was drawn to the department's camaraderie and commitment to service. He was officially hired by the Villa Park Fire Department in December 2024. Steve is the youngest of 3 siblings and is supported here by his family, including his older brother and sister, his girlfriend, and other loved ones. To our newest firefighters, I want to extend my sincerest congratulations. Your dedication, hard work, and commitment to excellence have been evident throughout your probationary career, period. As you embark on this next chapter in your career, I encourage you to never stop learning, never stop growing, and never stop striving to be the best firefighters you can be. Take pride in what you have accomplished, but never become complacent. Stay motivated, stay humble, and never lose sight of the values that brought you to this profession in the first place. As you transition from probationary firefighters to full-fledged members of our department, I want to remind you of the profound responsibility that comes with the privilege of being a Villa Park firefighter. You are entrusted with the safety and well-being of our community, and you must always approach your duties with the utmost courage, honor, and commitment. At this time, I would like to invite Village President Kevin Patrick to swear in our newest members, and the person who will be pinning the badge on our newest members, please join your loved ones. Evan's wife, Liz, is going to be pinning his badge on. Will's mom, Dr. Carol Shermer, is going to be pinning his badge. And Steve Szymanski's grandmother, Barbara, is going to pin his badge on.
Ready? All right, now raise your hand. And repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. To support the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the State of Illinois. The ordinances of Villa Park. And I will faithfully discharge the duties. Of firefighter paramedic. In the Village of Villa Park. To the best of my abilities. So help me God. Congratulations.
So remember, the badge each of you that are receiving tonight represents what we stand for. It is now entrusted to you to continue to traditions and core values of the Villa Park Fire Department, both on and off duty. Congratulations once again on this significant achievement. I look forward to watching you grow and thrive as firefighters for years to come.
I'm so happy.
Fireman, come on up for a picture.
Yeah.
I don't want to photo bombs.
You guys can go up, don't worry about it. Come on, back row. It's like ECF.
Thank you.
See you later, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
How are you doing, man? Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Of course. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great guy. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do.
Nice shoes there, Terry.
Thank you. They're my favorite.
Japanese shoes.
They're starting to fall apart.
Good night. Have a good night.
I thought maybe they were from Holland or something. You know, they have very similar pattern to them.
Same old. Just gonna ask some questions here.
Please.
Give it a minute to clear out. Just grab it.
No. No.
You know when was
I
the
had
last-
a lot of work there too, so it wasn't, yeah.
I'm gonna have to go.
They had to teach from there too, so it was a lot.
Were there originals?
you know, the last time I was in Pakistan?
But right now, Pakistan is not the place to be. That's why I have the most Pakistani people.
What happens is,
Too much political.
but depending where you're at, who your connections are and so forth, no one bothers. If you know the right people.
I have a really close, I mean, like,
We're just gonna give it another minute before we get started or get back
we
with
know
you.
who they're here for.
But if you know the people, it's like there's no place.
Like, it's home still, right? Okay.
All right, we are going to go ahead and continue forward with item 8A, appointment to commission, appointment of Fund Commissioner Michelle McDonald as chairperson of the Fund Commission. Do I have a motion to appoint?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Kozar, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Trustee Alfano. And opening up for discussion. One thing that I will say is that Michelle is filling in the role of Mary Brenner Heinz. I can never get her last name straight there, but Mary has been the chair of the Fund Commission for many years now, and she's not leaving the commission, she's just stepping down as the chair. She has brought many amazing things to Villa Park, Hokusai, that art that you see at the rec center throughout the village. many events that she's helped coordinate, such as the Autumn Jubilee and many more. So we are very grateful for her time and commitment to the Village of Villa Park and for serving as the chair of that commission for so long. But again, she is not going away. She's just stepping down as the chair, and Michelle McDonald would be essentially filling in for her. Is there any discussion? Okay, so we have a motion by trustee Kozar and seconded by trustee Alfano. Attorney Morton, if we could do a roll call, please.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Alfano?
Yes.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Constados?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Sabri?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, perfect, thank you. All right, moving along to the consent agenda, 9A, bill listings for the week of January 5th, 2026, in the amount of $662,101.50 and $69,500. The week of January 12th, 2026, in the amounts of $466,723.16 and $11,856.43 for the week of January 19th, 2026, in the amounts of $728,738.29 and $109,659.23. We also have the approval of the minutes of the special meetings of the Village Board of Trustees. The minutes held on December 8th, December 29th, 2025, and January 12th, 2026, and the Committee of the Whole for January 12th, 2026. Do I have a motion for the consent agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Constados. Do I have a second? By trustee Kumar. Is there any discussion? Trustee Alfano.
Yes, I'd like to remove 9A because I do have a couple of questions.
Okay. Okay, we will go ahead and remove 9A. Should we go ahead and vote on 9B before we go? Okay. All right. Is there any other discussion? Okay, so then what we will be doing is voting on consent agenda item 9B. Attorney Morton.
Trustee Constados?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Alfano?
Yes.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Sabri?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. And we will go ahead and return back to 9A. Trustee Alfano.
Yes, thank you. I do have a couple of questions just pertaining to some of the expenses in particular, not necessarily the dollar amounts. I was just wondering if we could have staff explain some of the expenses. For example, I was just curious what the West Central Municipal Association membership entails. If anybody could tell me more about that. That's on the first page of 1/5/26.
Hear me? Does it work? Sorry. Okay. I'd have to take a look at which department signed up for that membership for that organization. I don't know what that is off the top of my head.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was something that the manager's office is a part of, or if that's something from a different department. Also, the Villa Park Chamber of Commerce, oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, yeah, I'm sorry, if I may. Yes, that is one of the associations, one of the many associations that our office does belong to. I apologize, I just found it on my page. But yes, that is something we belong to. If there's something that you think that maybe we should belong to it, please, suggest, and we'll take a look at it for the next time.
Oh, I just wanted to know what it entailed. Is it West Central? Is that like in Illinois? Is that United States?
It's in the region, it's in Cook and DuPage.
Cook and DuPage, okay. And then the Chamber of Commerce, the basic membership, I'm asking this mostly because it was something that came up in one of the commissions that I am on. The question of, does that membership cover commissions as well? Or are commissions expected to also have a separate membership with the Chamber of Commerce? Do we know if we as a municipality sign up for the Chamber of Commerce, if that covers commissions?
I can double-check that with the chair of that chamber, with Kyle Schnuttler. I can check with them and see what that entails, but it does allow us as a village to obviously attend all their functions, be
Sure.
invited to their functions, any meetings that they should have. But I can double-check and see what that membership extends to.
Okay, I appreciate that. And then the fire safety consultants in the permit plan review, is that our union member overtime work? I thought there was some discussion about that, or is that something that is a consultant outside of that?
So, if I may, that is a pass-along fee, so likely that was due to the union plans being reviewed.
Got it.
Any fees that we incur through fire safety consultants would be passed along to Marquette, and then they pay back to us, so you're
Got
just
it.
seeing that come out of our funds to be able to pay FSCI and then are reimbursed.
Okay, thank you for that. On the next page, there's a Village Hall elevator modernization. It's just billed twice. Is that just because of the dollar amount that it needed to be separated? The 24,000 and the 11,000, which we're glad to have Village Hall back.
No, it was more than likely, I need to look at that invoice. Is that from the 1.5?
From 206 Building Improvements.
We had received those bills separately.
Got
So
it.
I had approved those under my authority
Okay.
to effectuate those.
Sure. I didn't know if those were separate bills. Then we have a bridge inspection description. I'm wondering if there's a chance that we could get some information on the bridge inspection, like which bridges were inspected? Do we know anything about that from Public Works?
The problem with putting on some of the information in AP is that we only have so many characters.
Got it.
And being able to put descriptions on there so we can take a look at to maybe put what development that is or put some sort of coding in there to give you more information.
Okay.
No, I can answer that, or Director Salerno can. We have 4 bridges in town.
Mhm.
For IDOT, we gotta keep a rating on them. So it's usually biannual, so we do like 2 every year. And so we hire a third-party consultant to do those for the requirements.
Okay. The one by the golf course, I know that came up at our last meeting. Is that part of it?
That is one of the bridges.
Okay.
We're actually, that one, we do have some federal funding that we're wrapping up phase 1 engineering on, and hopefully to rope that into phase 2 and then ultimately construction through IDOT, that would be applying for a bridge replacement fund.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that, sir. There were a couple of others on the next one that I had. I appreciate this because I just find out more information just by looking to see what we have here. I know we had like the Coyote help. I see that we reapplied for membership on that.
Yes,
So thank you for that.
and we've had that association for several years with Rob and his people.
Great. Thank you so much for that. The adjudication system, the municipal enforcement system, this would be under Department 207 Police Records. Is that the DACRA system, is that like a computer program?
Yes, DACRA is the system that we write our village ordinances through as well as tickets, yes.
Okay, thank you. And I think that were all of my, those were all of my questions about the bill listings. Yep. That was it.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
No worries. Is there any more questions regarding 9A? Okay, you'll need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion to approve.
Okay, trustee Alfano, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, trustee Constados. Is there any more discussion? Okay, seeing none. Attorney Morton, roll call.
Trustee Alfano?
Yes.
Trustee Constados?
Yes.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Sabri?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving right along to staff reports. Manager Rivas.
First and foremost, we want to do a special presentation by Assistant Village Manager Michael Guerra. Sir?
Thank you, Your Honor, and Manager Rivas. I wanted to present to the board last Wednesday, the village received an award. The village received an award from the APWA Suburban Branch for Project of the Year for the environmental category, $5 million to $25 million for our Jackson Pond and area stormwater improvements. You guys are probably all familiar, this project's accumulated back in 2013 from the flooding, with projects starting in 2018 and just wrapping up last fall. I believe we had about 61 homes inundated with water at that time, and this project has hopefully alleviated that concern for that whole area. So it's always great to get an award, and I wanted to present it. So we did get a reward from the APWA for this project. So we'll be proudly presenting it back in the Public Works office. And with this, we'll be moving on to the next round of possibilities of obtaining more awards with this project through APWA. But I just wanted to present a little bit of time and thank staff, because it was several years in the making. I believe it started in 2018. We did receive some FEMA brick money to redo this last portion. So I think in the neighborhood of total 20 million, I think, when it's all said and done with all the different phases. So it was great work by all the staff over the last couple administrations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. If I may, Mr. President, also you'll find in the Public Works and Parks report, there's a very robust explanation of the upcoming updates on all the projects we have going on in the village. And then if the board is ready, we'll be presenting the financial report from Director Susie Micah.
All right, thank you.
All right, there's two reports that are in your packet. So the first report is what you're typically used to seeing in the board packet, which is the analysis that shows our general fund revenues and expenses and the other funds and other expenses, and then the cash flow analysis for the month of December. And so that report takes back all the revenue and expenses back in December of 2024 and compares it to December of 2025, where we ended so far. The only thing that I want to point out before I start giving you some information, background information on the report for December of 2025, we've seen that as we're closing out 2025 and as invoices are coming in, we're still coding some invoices to 2025. So as we've seen on the bill list, there's 2 bill lists for every day, because some of it goes to 25 and some of it's to 2026, depending upon when those goods or services were purchased. That cutoff is going to be this Friday at noon. So after this Friday is the last batch of invoices that we'll be paying, so that we can continue to move forward to close out the year, because we have our auditors coming in mid-March for their field work for 2025. So I'll just give you a quick brief overview of December 2025 year-end information really quickly that's in these reports for you. Is that the general fund year-to-date revenues as of December 31st came out to be $37.1 million, which is approximately 133% of the 2025 annual budget. It's 6.7 more than revenues received during this last period in December of 2024. But one of the variances that you have on this report is that we took in $2.2 million of FEMA money that we recorded in 2025, as well as the $10 million in the IDNR grant that we received. So that makes the big surplus that we're seeing higher than what we originally anticipated to budget for. The $2.2 million in FEMA, what we found is, as we were working with the auditors for the 2024 audit, initially, we were going to take those monies and transfer them over to the Stormwater Buyout Fund, because those monies are reimbursement for FEMA for those projects. But because we didn't budget for that in the budget, we can't move that without board authorization. So what I'm going to be doing is when I bring the 2025 amended budget to you, this item will be brought to you for consideration, so that we're still in accordance with the state statutes for approval to be able to move those funds from the general fund into the stormwater sewer fund. So, I'm sorry, the stormwater buyout fund. So I just want you to be aware of that, because previously I've been reporting to you that we would be in finance moving it. But after reviewing the ordinances and best practices, it was best recommended that we bring it forward to the board, rather than just acknowledging that's where we're recording it, because it's such a large dollar amount. That's the process that I'm choosing to go through. So you'll be seeing that brought forward to you in the next month or so, when I bring the amended budget to you. And then at year end, we should have received 100% of our revenues, which benchmarked the performance. You can see we exceeded that. Most of the revenues for the other funds are really performing in line with budget expectations, assuming that we do the transfers from the general fund to the prospective funds, and then some of the transfers from the prospective funds to the other funds too, because there's some interdepartmental transfers that are going on. And those are examples of the capital fund at 3.7 million needs to be transferred. The recreation fund at 510,000, which is what was budgeted. The parks fund at 2.5 million and the swimming pool at 150,000. TIF 6 received approximately $18,000 less than property taxes that were anticipating. TIF 5 received about $145,000 than anticipated revenue property taxes. The street improvement fund is awaiting a transfer from the MFT fund, which we're working on. And then the stormwater buyout fund is, they were anticipating receiving a grant in the amount of $288,500 from the state, but that didn't come into fruition in 2025. So their fund is going to look a little less than what was anticipated. As of December 31st, overall general fund expenses are at approximately 87% of what was budgeted. So that's approximately 3.1 less than the expenditures during the same period last year. So if you're comparing the two year ends. The general fund revenues were at 37.1, while expenses were at 24.3 million. So once the transfers are done and all that's exhausted, the percentages will kind of come a little bit higher and more in line. And the part where that's going to hit in line, which you'll see, is the $2.6 million shortfall that we had been talking about that resulted in the previous administration's failure to budget for the police pension contribution. So right now I'm working on those transfers as I'm collaborating with the different department heads to finalize those transfers, because initially, if you look at when we passed or presented the proposed 2026 budget to you, we had that column in there where we proposed where we were going to end 2025 at. So we're working with the department head to see if we're on that target or if there needs to be additional funding or less funding, regardless of which way we determine to go, and that'll be part of the 2025 amended budget to you. So whatever was budgeted and approved already in the budget process, I'll go ahead and do those transfers. And then whatever wasn't is what will be brought forward to you as an amended budget for approval. All the other funds are performing well with the exception of TIF 7. That doesn't mean that TIF 7 is not performing well. It's just a big thing that I'd like to remind you is that because it was put into place this year, that tax revenues are a year in arrears, so the property tax monies won't be realized until 2026. So you'll start seeing there's some deficit spending in that fund, but that's natural progression of the fund to get that fund going. All of the expenses in TIF 4 are currently being reclassified into TIF 7, so you're going to see a merging of that. So going forward, you're not going to see TIF 4 any monies being recorded in there because it has been merged with TIF 7 when we did the DTIF RETIF situation last year. At the very last page is the cash flow analysis by fund that's unaudited through December 31st. I did make some manual adjustments and continuing to refine it. As I mentioned earlier, I'm working on doing the budget transfers to provide a more accurate picture of the village's cash on hand position by fund. There is one thing that I want to bring to your attention, and with the next report, that's a new report that's being presented to you every month, was the revenue and expense report. One of the things in front of that report, we've put together a memo in there going through as we reviewed the January expenses to date as of, I believe it was the 20th. We noticed that there was slightly over $1 million in revenues that was recorded in 2026 that really belonged to 2025. So unfortunately, on your report that you're looking at for January, as of the 20th, you'll see that those revenues are recorded in there, and that particularly had to do with the union project. So on Friday, I was able to reclassify those expenses, or excuse me, those revenues so that they're put into 2025. And then there's a couple minor other adjustments that we're doing with, as we're asking department heads to review their departments, if there's some coding errors where there's different expenses that were coded to the department that really belong to another department or a different line item. What I wanted to share with you is that as soon as I'm done with that in the next week or so, what I was going to do is print a brand new, after we do all those adjustments, I don't want to say clean revenue and expense report, but an updated revenue and expense report to give you for where we landed December 31st of 2025. So you have that for your records. And then the updated January one as well that shows that we made the adjustment for that $1 million. And then you'll see, obviously, since we're on January 26th already, by the time I get that, it'll be the 31st. So you'll get an updated revenue and expense report for January that'll show where we landed at the end of January at that moment. But I wanted to present something to you at that snapshot picture, so you had it in terms of starting forward in looking at our financials.
Thank you.
So then the second report, if you don't have any questions on this original report on there, is the actual revenue and expense report. And this is actually what is generated out of BSNA, our software. So when we run this report, it's live. So as of the last transaction that was put into our software, we just run this simple report. And what you see is exactly what I'm working off of. So I actually take this information off this report, and this is where the December report that I gave to you is taking the data off of here and just summarizing it for all of you to review. So in January, this gives you just until the 20th, which the date is actually on the bottom, if you can see it, which I know it might be difficult. It gives you the date and actual time that we ran the report. I included the memo in front of it that went over a couple different changes that are going to be taking place that we observed that needed some reclassification, which is the $1 million worth of different fees, which is $597,000 of building permits, $20,000 in engineering review fees, $312,000 of impact fees. So that's broken down, and I broke that down in the memo so that you'll see that on there. And then some of the expenses on here too that talks about why there was either a negative amount in the expense side, which when you think of a negative amount, it looks like you're overspending, but what that really means is that a credit was put into the account, and that's because a refund was issued. So if you notice on the expense side in the community development department for a permit fee, it actually shows negative $250, and that's because we issued a refund to a resident for their permit. So that's why you see that negative number, and since I was able to identify that, that's why I spelled that out in the memo. So anything that looked a little bit unnatural or didn't seem right or something that I felt that would be questioned, we listed them out on here for you, so that this way it'd just be a little bit more transparent for your records. And I'll continue to do that every single month as we present to you the current month, the first couple days up until our deadline that we have to present it, so that it can be presented to the board in our board packet.
Excellent. Manager Reeves.
If I may, just to call to your attention, the far right of the column of the report that was submitted by Director Micah, you'll see a percentage of budget used. That was a request of the board. So you'll see that in each one of these reports that's effectuated by the finance department.
Do we have any presentations here, or just?
No, the others are just for review.
Okay.
The rest of the reports.
Okay, are there any questions for village staff before we move forward? Okay, seeing none, moving along, we do not have any ordinances for first or second reading, so we'll go ahead and move along to item 14A, resolutions. A resolution approving an engineering agreement with Edwin Hancock Engineering Company of Westchester, Illinois, in the Phase 1 and Phase 2 engineering for the Adams and Frank Street resurfacing project in an amount not to exceed $46,875,000. Manager Reedus.
Thank you, Mr. President. The following resolution would authorize the village manager to enter into an engineering services agreement with Edwin Hancock Engineering Company of Westchester, Illinois for Phase 1 and Phase 2 engineering of the Adams and Frank Street resurfacing project in an amount not to exceed $46,875. The Adams and Frank Street resurfacing project proposes roadway and sidewalk improvements to Adams Street from Ardmore Avenue to Summit Avenue and Frank Street from Summit Avenue to Grant Avenue.
Do I have a motion for the resolution?
Make that motion.
Trustee Sabri, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Trustee Alfano, is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none. Attorney Morton, roll call.
Trustee Sabri?
Yes.
Trustee Alfano?
Yes.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Constados?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead and move forward to 14B, resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a contract with Bear Construction Company for the fencing installation project at 40 South Ardmore Avenue, Villa Park, Illinois, an amount not to exceed $65,546. Manager Reedus.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Some background on this. The parking lot is routinely used by residents, visitors, and employees. The police department parking lot located south of the building functions as both a parking and staging area for police vehicles and operations and is used for the secure transport of prisoners in and out of the facility. Due to the parking lot's close proximity to the Great Western Trail and other adjacent pedestrian walkways, staff have identified ongoing concerns related to pedestrian safety, unauthorized access, and overall site security. These concerns are heightened during evening and overnight hours when visibility and staffing levels are reduced. That is all.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion for the resolution?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, trustee Constados, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, trustee Sabri. Any discussion? Trustee Constados?
I just want to say that I'm all for a fence for the police department and safety. I know that if you look at any neighboring communities, they have one of two things, either a fenced-in lot or a parking garage where they get to go inside. Unfortunately, we can't do that, so I believe it's good for us to have a fence for security and safety. So I'm glad to see this starting, and I hope that it can further on to where it extends, where we can get some nice closing gates and whatnot down the line.
Trustee Alfano?
Thank you. I know I did ask for some other information, and I'm interested to know about the grant. Is it a Commerce and Economic Opportunity Grant that we could apply for once the project is completed? Is that correct?
Okay.
That is something that we already have, is the
Okay.
grant, so it will be reimbursed once we complete that project.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please. Attorney Martin?
Trustee Constados?
Yes.
Trustee Sabri?
Yes.
Trustee Alfano?
Yes.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Moving along to item 15, is there any unfinished business? Okay, is there any new business? Trustee Cordova?
I know we, at the end of the last year, during the budget, we asked about a financial plan, a 5-year financial plan, and I'm not asking for an update now, but if we can get an update by the next, I'm not saying give us the report or the plan, but just give us an update. Are we halfway through, are we quarter way through, whatever it would be?
Manager Ritas?
If I can interject, Director Micah, you just want to give them the brief update that we have so far?
Yes, so I've actually set up the framework already of the report. So I have all of the departments already set up. I have their past couple years' expenses in there and the current year budget, and I'm right now just finished through the general fund revenues and projecting what the next 5 years is going to be. That's where I've left off. So I'm trying to work through that. As I get through the different departments, what I'm going to be doing is emailing them to the department head so that they can take a look at what I'm projecting to make sure that they agree with me or disagree so that we can refine it before we bring it to you guys. So my personal goal, and I'm sorry if I haven't shared this with anyone else, any of my colleagues, my goal was to get that to you by the end of first quarter, so maybe the last meeting in March, just with the audits the various audits that we have on our plates within the finance department, and trying to find time to get this composed for you. But I also wanted to give my colleagues an opportunity to review what I put together, because I don't think it's fair that I'm just doing it based on my experience. They know their departments better than I do. But just so you know, that's where I'm at.
Perfect. All right, is there any other new business? Trustee Kumar?
When you do that, does that include like previous years and the next 5 years?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe I went back to 23, 24. I didn't feel that it would be pertinent to even do 22, because I was actually going to do 2021 and 22, but the problem is that those are COVID years. So no matter what data I pull together, I didn't feel that that would be pertinent for you because of the state of the village and the world, really, of where we were in. Those numbers really aren't going to make any kind of an impact in terms of the future and what really happened in terms of how we operate as a village and what we truly need. And so that's why I started with 23 forward.
Thank you. Any more new business? Trustee Kumar?
I just, a resident came out about this rat abatement possibility and rats, and that's been going on for a while. It's not a short-term problem, and I think it's something that we need to look into in some way or form as a village. What strategies we're going to put into place to keep some simpler things like the trash out of the trash can closed, and what we're going to do to make sure things like that happen to get rid of rats, and even any kind of rat abatement plan we can put into account would be super helpful across the board. Rats do cause disease, and we really don't need extra disease. COVID years being a sign of what disease does to our society. That's it.
Okay. Any other new business? Manager Rivas.
Staff will be bringing an updated ordinance in Chapter 13, Article 2, under food vending trucks. The original ordinance was passed in 1949, which addressed the legislation of milk and ice cream trucks. We've progressed a lot since then, so we're going to update that and present it to the board based on like ordinances in the region.
Okay, excellent. Okay, any other new business? Okay, seeing none, we will go ahead. We do not have any village commission reports or village clerk's report. We'll go ahead and start village trustees report, starting on my right. Trustee Constados.
Yes, thank you. Two things. I know that it was mentioned today about getting back to coffee with the board. I know this was something we discussed at our previous meeting, and that we were going to start to do things a little bit differently. I can say that February is assigned to me and Trustee Sabri, and we will be there for that coffee with the board from that moment on. I believe we agreed to a sign-up sheet, so I can only speak for myself. I will try to be at more of those, so that way the residents can attend and give their feedback. With that said, the only other thing I'd like to say is, the weather's been very cold, obviously, and we've gotten some snow, and, it got down to almost 30 below. I know there's people out there who really, really, say they need their street cleaned and whatever. I'm just asking people, please, please give our Public Works guys a little bit of grace. I mean, it was 30 below outside, and I know everybody wants their street plowed. I know there's a lot of talk on social media about it. Just give our guys a little grace. They're out there working long hours, they're working in the cold, they're working on water mains that are breaking, as well as plowing and salting. If your street doesn't get done right away, or if you feel that it wasn't done at all, please, please utilize the request form on the website. I use it myself. I get very fast responses while using that. It's probably the best thing to do rather than to try to call somebody at Village Hall. But just a little grace to our staff. They're doing the best they can with the weather conditions as well. Everybody stay warm and have a safe week. Thank you.
Trustee Cordova.
Just a thank you to Chief Stapleton for inviting us over to the firehouse for the tour. Great, looks great, and congratulations to our 3 new sworn-in firefighter paramedics.
Okay. Trustee Kozar.
No report.
Okay. On my left, Trustee Kumar.
Hi, I'm glad to be back. I know I missed a meeting, and I hope we start the year well, and that's about it.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Spree.
I will say welcome to our new firefighters. Congratulations to the new family, to our firefighters. It's great to have new members in our town. Again, that we had a privilege to see our temporary, or perhaps maybe even future, a new fire station. It was well done. Thank you. Congratulations. Let's see what we can do to improve upon that for your new home on a temporary basis, perhaps even look into a different option that we can make things even better. Weather is being cold. I think we need to do one thing, check on our neighbors. I think that's a must thing. Some of our neighbors are elderly folks, so perhaps it would be nice to just knock on their door and find out if they need something, especially in this cold. I think we do need to reach out to our neighbors. By saying that, stay warm, be healthy, and let's see what this new warm weather is going to come in our way. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Alfano.
Thank you. I'd also like to congratulate our new firefighter paramedics, Evan Swanson, William Shermer, and Steve Szymanski. I hope I got those right. Welcome to Villa Park. We are delighted to have you. And thank you, Chief Stapleton. I wasn't able to make it, but I did have some fellow trustees take some pictures to see what that looks like, and hopefully I can come and tour it at a different time. I think it's really cool that we have an APWA award, so thank you for sharing that. Those are always nice to hear and to share. As far as coffee with the board, that's always been something that I've enjoyed, even as a resident. That was something that I would attend, and many of us will attend as many as we can. So thank you for coming and speaking about that. I will not be at the next Coffee with the Board. We have solo and ensemble contest at Jackson, I think it might be at Jefferson Middle School, this next Coffee with the Board day. So I will be doing mom duty that day, but we do have lots of things going on, and we do try to make those that we can. Many of us do. It is an honor and a privilege to serve Villa Park from this seat, so thank you very much. Please take care of your neighbors. Please stay warm.
Thank you. I would like to, first of all, thank staff for all of your hard work that you've been doing. We have really accomplished a lot over the last few months, and some of those challenges have made us better at what we do. Thank you for everything that you're doing out there. Thank you for getting this room prepared for us to be here moving forward. It's nice being back. I'd like to also thank Chief Stapleton for the tour of the old Iowa Community Center, a new temporary fire department. It's very spacious. It's accommodating. I like it. And also, I want to give a specific shout out to our police department. Nowadays, with everything that's happening in the world, being a police officer is not an easy job. And I've said it before in the past, and I'll say it again, that we have one of the best departments in the state of Illinois. And I really do appreciate every time that every officer comes to work, puts on their vest, puts on that badge, and puts the residents of Villa Park first and foremost. I really do appreciate that. So thank you for everything that you're doing for us to keep us safe at home, especially in these times. So thank you for that. Lastly, I just ask everybody at home, a couple more months and we'll be out of this cold. Take care of one another and be safe. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very quickly, two things. One, I want to give a shout out to the Parks Department for getting this room ready, and also IT for upping our security measures. And I can go into better detail with the board when I have a chance. So a shout out to those two departments and getting this building up and ready for this meeting today. Secondly, Coffee with the Board was discussed on several occasions. For the March 7th Coffee with the Board, I'd like to propose that we move that to the temporary fire department. And the reason I like to do that, because I like to have a generation of ideas, not just have it be driven by citizens, but also be driven by ideas. And what we can do with that space, if the board allows, then also what we can possibly do moving forward with any spaces that they may cause a ripple effect. I will be at that meeting on March 7th. We will make it a special meeting of the Coffee with the Board for whoever is in attendance. I would invite the general public to do that. If the board is not agreeable to that and they would rather have a special meeting instead of that, we can also make that happen. So I'm just trying to throw that out as a possibility. So Coffee with the Board, March 7th at the temporary firehouse. We can set up in the bay. We can set up a lot of chairs just in case, so we can accommodate as many people as possible.
Okay, excellent idea.
That's all.
Thank you. All right, moving forward, we will be moving into executive session pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C1, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body. Also for pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C5, the purchase, sale, or lease of real property for the use of public body, as well as pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C21, semi-annual review of closed session minutes. We will possibly be returning to take action. If not, we will adjourn out of executive session. Do I have a motion for executive session?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Constados, do I have a second?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, trustee Kumar, is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Constados?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Alfano?
Yes.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Sabri?
Yes.
Okay, we will be moving into executive session at 8:05 PM. Thank you.